This is Walk Two Moons, Chapter 13, Bouncing Berkway. It was time to tell Graham and Gramps about Mr. Berkway. Mr. Berkway was mighty strange. I didn't know what to make of him. I thought he might have a few squirrels in the attic of his brain. He was one of those energetic teachers who loved his subject half to death and leapt around the room dramatically, waving his arms and clutching his chest and whooping people on the back. He said, "Brilliant and wonderful and terrific!" He was tall and slim, and his bushy black hair made him look wild, but he had enormous, deep brown cow-like eyes that sparkled all over the place, and when he turned those eyes on you, you felt as if his whole purpose in life was to stand there and listen to you and you alone. Midway through the first class, Mr. Berkway asked for everyone's summer journals. He flung himself up and down the aisles, receiving the journals as if they were manna from heaven. "Wonderful," he said to each journal giver. I was worried. I had no journal. On top of Mary Lou Finney's desk were 6 journals. 6! Mr. Berkway said, "Heaven's mercy! Can it be Shakespeare?" He counted the journals. 6! Brilliant! Magnificent! Christy and Megan, 2 girls who had their own club called the GGP, whatever that meant, were whispering over on one side of the room and casting malevolent looks at Mary Lou's direction. Mary Lou kept her hand on top of the journals as Mr. Berkway reached for them. In a low voice, she said, "I don't want you to read them." "What?" Mr. Berkway boomed. "Not read them?" The whole room was silent. Mr. Berkway scooped up Mary Lou's journals before she could even blink. Then he said, "Don't be silly. Brilliant. Thank you." Another girl, Beth Ann, looked as if she might cry. Phoebe was sending me messages with her eyebrows that indicated that she was not too pleased either. I think they were all hoping that Mr. Berkway was not actually going to read the journals. Mr. Berkway went around the whole room snatching journals. Alex Cheevy's journal was covered in basketball stickers. Christy and Megan's were slathered all over with pictures of male models. The cover of Ben's was a cartoon of a boy with a normal boy's head, but the arms and legs were pencils, and out of the tips of the hands were dribbles of words. When he got to Phoebe's desk, Mr. Berkway lifted up her plain journal and peeked inside. Phoebe was trying to slide down in her chair. "I didn't write much," Phoebe said. "In fact, I can hardly remember what I wrote about at all." By the time Mr. Berkway got to me, my heart was clobbering all around so hard I thought it might leap straight out of my chest. "Deprived child," he said. "You didn't have a chance to write a journal." "I'm new." "New? How blessed," he said. "There's nothing in this whole wide world that's better than a new person." "So I didn't know about the journals." "Not to worry," Mr. Berkway said. "I'll think of something." I wasn't sure what that meant. I thought maybe he'd give me a whole lot of extra homework or something. For the rest of the day, you could see little groups of people asking each other, "Did you write about me?" I was very glad that I hadn't written anything. For a while, we didn't hear any more about the journals. We had absolutely no idea the trouble that they were going to cause.